Hey, so I had a problem with the baler last night. Nothing too major, just annoying really. And I'm going to see if I can dig it up here for you. Oh, where are we here? This thing right here. So I'm going to call Messick's right now, and I'm going to give them, I'm going to call Messick's, and I'm going to see if I can get these ordered. I'm probably going to order all 6 of them, because if one of them's broke, they're all probably on their way. That's just my thoughts. I am going to figure out if I can weld this thing, which probably not, but I don't know. I've got other spring tines, so I might be able to get another spring tine from something else, or up there off of, say, the little baler or whatnot, and possibly weld it to that. I don't know, I'll show you where it's at. It really sucks to get in there, but I'll show you. Alright, you gotta crawl underneath this dust fest, and it's down there. You can see it right there. That's it right there. So it shouldn't be too difficult to get it out. I just gotta find the right bolt and climb underneath there. I should probably blow this off before I do that. Last night I was up and under here. I had another one go funny on me. But what I think has happened is a knot got a hold of it and actually broke it. Pulled on it a little too far, hyperextended it, and caused it to break. But that's just what I'm thinking. So I'll get that out of there, and we'll start welding. Whether I braze it or whatnot, I don't know. Probably just going to weld it with a MIG welder. And I'll do it in a cold fashion, so it's kind of like I'll show you what I'm going to do. And see if I can get this bitch going again. Alright, let me make my phone call. Alright, fixing springs is not something I like to do. It happens from time to time. As you can tell, it's hot. I got a blue rag on my head. Soak up the sweat because I'm going to saturate my hat. But if you do have to fix one of these crazy springs, because this isn't something that I keep in stock, and I didn't think that it would be that big of a deal to order them in as I needed them, but it's going to take me a couple days to get this part. So what I did was I took a pickup tine out of the old, well, it's a brand new pickup tine, and I cut the end of it off because it kind of matched the curve. And then I took a 6011 rod and I welded it as cold as I could. And I didn't get all the way to the end, because if you get all the way to the end here, it'll make it brittle. The brake was dead center, and it was, it's just weak there. So I strengthened it, making the majority of the heat go to the new piece that I put on. And hopefully this gets me through the day. I think it will. But if it doesn't, well, shit. At least I tried. You better grind that. Yeah. You don't even have to grind it. Just stick it in there. Okay. So, but anyways, I got to climb under this dusty mess. I didn't blow it off because I pulled it up in the shop last night. I'll blow it off before I go to work in the next few minutes, because that's what I'm going to be doing. In the next few minutes, I got to get my ass in gear, and I got to rethread this thing, which I will show you how to do as I go along. It's really not that difficult, but everything about it is, there is 6 times 6. So it's kind of a pain in the ass there, but yeah, everything's times 6. I should probably eject the bale. I'm starting to get some buildup on the inside. You see that crusty stuff there? It normally just squirts out. Actually, I don't have to. I think it's squeezing out now, so it won't matter. But yeah, so I'll rethread that after I get this bad boy in. It just takes a bolt, wherever I put my bolt. Here it is. There's a nut and a bolt, so it's going to take 2 hands, and you're not going to be able to come along with me because I don't have my tripod with me. Okay, so I've got it on. It's kind of a really awkward spot, but there's just a single bolt behind there. It comes up from the bottom. You have to take a pair of vice grips and actually get underneath it and clamp it on, pull it up, because it bottoms out on this thing here. And that thing there is what tells the computer up top that this thing is not working, that there's no knot made. So it seems to be working. I can move it up and down, and it does that at about 1,000 miles an hour. But now I have to thread this stupid thing. Now hopefully you can see what I'm about to do. No, can't see? Let's see if I can get some dirt under there. Maybe that'll give you the perspective I want you to have. Yes. Okay. Now this twine goes up through the bottom, and you can turn this little wheel like so. Well, that's kind of strange. Oh. Yeah, you can't have it on the wrong side of that. There's a little spring tensioner there. And if you think this is a fun job, it's not. Being underneath this thing, kind of crabby. Alright, maybe you can see now. Okay, so what I've got to do, I got to feed it up through the bottom of this guy here, right? So that's it. That's where it belongs. Then I have to actually take and put it through this here. See that? So now it's in that spring. And what you want to do is give yourself a fair amount of twine here. You pull that out. Alright, and now for the really itchy part, because you got to reach up and underneath here, and there's 2 rollers at the end of each needle. And what I do is I stick my fingers up in there while the machine's running. Yeah, even though it's not running. And try to lose a finger. And there you go. So that's that. Next thing you want to do is pull on that thing to see how much you can get out of there. Tie a knot in the end like this, so it has a loop on it. Okay, you got your loop. Take your loop and you put it around the hook, and there you go. So that's where it's at right there. Now this little thing here, this plate, is supposed to move back and forth. That is a dust guard to keep all that shit out of there. You just kind of reclip your spring and your job is done. And that's it. Now, I hope you enjoyed that, but now I got to go up top and I have to pull the knotter assembly apart, because the knotter assembly, has a string wrapped around a bill hook, and because it won't sweep off without the proper tension on there. Twine tension is most of the problem when it comes to a baler, a big baler that is. So if you don't have proper twine tension, you're going to have improper knots. And that's what happened with that spring being busted. So I'm going to climb up top there and get that knot. Okay, so here's what I got to do now. If you look down in here, you can see it's kind of hairy. Where you look in there, it's nice and clean. So without the proper twine tension, it just won't tie knots, and then it'll wrap. It won't sweep off the bill hook, and the bill hook gets all messed up. And you can potentially break the bill hook. And I'm not sure if I haven't broken the bill hook, but I'm going to find out here pretty soon. When I realized I had the problem, all I did was I cut the top and the bottom string. You can see that's a nice clean cut. And I'm going to show you a cheap trick on how to get these things knotted properly without cursing and swearing and doing all kinds of crazy things. You pull out a liberal amount of string, and down in there's a couple of rollers. You stick it down between there. And because the bail's already busted, it doesn't much make any difference. So as you can see, that string is down between those rollers, and when the next slice of hay comes up, the plunger will push the hay against that twine, grabbing it, and then it'll start the cycle and it'll pull that string through. So you're not fishing twine through here, trying to figure out how you're going to get it tied up back here, making a whole mess. It's time consuming, and it's literally just a waste of time. So what you do is, that procedure I just did there will keep you out of trouble. So I'm going to pull this bolt off of here. Most of the New Holland knotters are just a clip, but Krone decided they would use a bolt like that. I'm going to take that off, and then I'll show you how. Okay, so there it is. I've got the nut out, the bolt off, and Now I'm just going to raise this up. This will flop out of the way if you want to. And of course, there is a fair amount of twine jammed up in there. So, wow. Just start picking and pulling, I guess, until you can get it. Let me set the camera there. Maybe you can see this. Wow. It is wrapped around a dozen times. Hopefully the bill hook isn't broken. It's not. It's just jammed up. Okay, so I missed my video yesterday. You're actually seeing it because what did we do? We pulled the well pump out of the house, and I did not videotape it, did we? No, we did not. Teresa's here. But yeah, so you get to see this video of me struggling with this miserable piece of baling twine, which really wasn't that big of a deal. Got the new parts in. I have not replaced it yet. I have baled about 600 bales with that spring being re-welded, and it seems to be working just fine, but I do have the replacements there at the farm now, which I should probably just go ahead and change it because it's raining. It's piss-pouring rain. Finished the well pump yesterday, and bam, it started to rain, so that was the end of that. All good. 220 foot of pipe pulled by hand by me and Timothy and Teresa, the neighbor, and the well guy. But me and Tim were the ones that actually pulled that son of a heavy bitch out of that hole. What a job. My arms are still sore. Alright, so this is what was in there. Didn't have the proper tension, couldn't make the knot. Okay, so, alright, so I'll show you, point out some really cool features that the Krone has that other balers don't have. These little lines here, these are actually air. There's bigger and smaller ones that come out of here. This one's slightly larger. So that gets a flow of air coming forward, and this blows down onto the knotter, blowing off all that debris that's in the way. So these knotters are very, very clean. Always very, very clean. I really don't have any problems with knotters too often with the Krone baler. I now have, I don't know, 14,000 bales through it or so since it was new, so she's just starting to get broke in. As far as I'm concerned, it is. And that's how you do it. So you put that on there. You get the nut on there like so. As Neil Messick likes to say, you get into the nuts and bolts of things. Well, I'm always in the nuts and bolts of things. So, but anyways, what I'm going to do is blow this thing off of here and go to the field and see if it actually works. So, I'll finish doing that, and I hope my spring repair works, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to just have to disengage this knotter again, loosen up the bale, and bale a lighter bale. I'm still putting between 12 and 1,400 pounds in a bale, a 94-inch bale. So it's still packing a nice, substantial bale. It's just, I'm having a lot of broken strings on the other side. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. It's about 100 degrees out here, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.